And when I decided that I was going to leave my job to start a business, I told people, friends, family, my plans. They called me a lot of things. Smart was not one of them. But now I make six figures a day. So
Hello, hello, beautiful souls. I'm so excited to have you back with me because I have a very special guest, Anisa Crespo, with me today. She is the co-founder of the Million Dollar Mom Society and a passionate advocate for women's visibility, empowerment, and legacy. As an executive producer, podcast host, author, and speaker, she shares her journey to inspire women to rise on their power and build lives they love. And that's what I'm all about as well. So I'm super excited for this conversation. Welcome to the show, Anisa.
thank you, Lucy. I'm excited to be here and share with your audience today. Thank you.
Awesome. So you left a six-figure career to start your businesses. What was the moment that you knew staying in your six-figure career would cost you more than leaving?
Yeah, so I was in a male-dominated industry for over 10 years, and I woke up one day, had a spiritual awakening, and realized that I needed to help women. I didn't know how I was going to do that or what I was going to do, but the how and what is none of my business. The who and why is. And so I knew why and I knew who, and one thing led to another, but really helping someone scale from seven to eight figures in a company over the course of 10 years and then realizing I can do this for myself.
Yay. We all know it's very, very different between a regular corporate job and entrepreneurship. But who did you have to become internally before external success could expand?
Yeah, so I was on a journey of personal development for several years before any of this transpired. I overcome a lot of trauma in my life, decades and decades of it. And I got to a point after my mother passed away in 2017 and going through a lot of grief and loss over the course of a few years where I found personal development and really did the work. And so it requires action every single day. It's not like, oh, all of a sudden you're fixed, you're the next version of yourself. Every single day I work at the person that I'm becoming tomorrow. So the woman that I'm going to become at the next level is who I'm focused on every single day. And it requires a lot of work, but it is worth it.
What identity shift was the hardest in between those times for you?
Yeah, so my whole life, I mean, growing up in a family with a single mom, we were always struggling financially. Everything was always complaining and negativity and we were loved, but that was just the type of world we lived in. And so I thought that was my identity. I thought that was normal, cousins and aunts and uncles getting together and talking about everybody else. Like I just thought that was a normal thing. And then after finding personal development, I realized that this is not normal behavior and I don't have to choose it. And so I choose to be happy every day. And so the identity of being broken and coming from a broken home and being the victim mentality and even an employee mentality that shifted for me a lot, and stepping into the role of CEO and leadership. Those were the biggest challenges, but again, totally worth it.
Yeah, and now you advocate for women's visibility, but what do you think so many powerful women are kept from being on scene, even when they're successful? What's keeping them on scene?
Fear. It's the fear of what other people are going to think about them. It's the fear of failure. It's the fear of success, getting successful and then being able to hold that success and repeat it over and over again and scale it. That's the biggest thing that women struggle with is just that fear. And what I always tell women is there's no place for fear and faith. So you have to choose one. So you're either going to live in fear over faith, you're going to worry about everything and everyone else, or you're going to have faith, faith in yourself, faith in the plan, faith in God, the universe, Mother Nature, Spirit, whoever that is to you, and that no matter what happens, everything will work out.
I think it's that strong belief, right? Really true belief. Like we say, I have faith. I believe in whoever the higher power you believe in, but then a little curveball is thrown at you. Are you still owning your power? Right? So What does owning your power look like for you when you're juggling faith, family, business, when that curveball is thrown at you?
It's just remembering why I started in the first place. What is my purpose here on earth? It is standing in my power means to me being in alignment. So I am a person who, if anything is out of alignment for me, uh, I feel very blurry, like very just almost like, you know how you have an ear infection and you have like your equilibrium is off? That's how it is if anything is out of alignment for me. So whether that's clients who really don't fit or, forcing something that is seems like a good idea, but it's really not. That to me is really being able to step away from things and say no to things. That is standing in my power.
I love it. I hope everyone listening will continue to stand in their own power. But I believe there probably was a point in your life when you realized you were playing it safe, right? How did you personally move from playing it safe to playing it bigger?
It all comes down to making a decision. When you make a decision and then you take massive action to back that decision up every single day, you're well on your way. So when I was working my job, I was making six figures. I ticked all the boxes that a successful corporate woman could want in America. I had a good boss, good colleagues, work from home, flexibility, a seniority, like all the things. And something was missing. My cup was no longer being filled. Like that job served me for 10 years, but then my cup was no longer filled. And so I made a decision that I was worth six figures a day. And when I decided that I was going to leave my job to start a business, I told people, friends, family, my plans. They called me a lot of things. Smart was not one of them. But now I make six figures a day. So
I love it. I love it. Because I say this all the time as well. Everything you want is only a decision away. Because having the confidence is a decision. How you want to live your life, that's your decision, right? Who you spend time with, that's your decision. Everything comes down to that one decision that can change the course of your life.
yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Everything we consume, whether it's the food that we put into our body, whether it's the media or the social media that we read or listen to, or, every single thing you choose what is going to be the outcome. And the results are all about the decisions from today. So the results of tomorrow is about what you decide to do today. It's just like a weight loss journey, which I have been on my entire life. And it's getting up and going to the gym on the hard days, the days where you don't feel like you want to go. But the results and the payoff are always worth it in the end.
Yes. And so many people think we have to learn more on this journey. And I believe that along the way, it's even more important for us to unlearn things. Was there a belief about confidence or playing it bigger you had to unlearn on this journey in order to get there?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my mom always taught me to go to school, get a job, climb the corporate ladder, and then live happily ever after. So I went to school, I got a job, I climbed the corporate ladder, and then the happily ever after was missing. So I had to unlearn that piece of it and say, you know what? There's more to life than just this. And for me, I will never teach my children to go to college. I will teach them how to invest in real estate, invest in business. I will teach them how to invest in themselves, how to start a business, how to sustain a business, how to sell. And once they have all of those skills, they can do anything that they want in life, even go to college.
I love that. And the same with me for my daughter. I'm telling her, yes, you're going to school, but it's not about what happened in history that matters. It's about learning your habits. It's about your discipline. It's about how you live life that I want you to get out of school.
Yes, absolutely.
How do you define success now versus before?
Freedom. It's what makes you happy. A lot of people think that success is a number in a bank account or a number of clients or, any kind of number where it's defining monetary stats. And I just don't believe in that because everybody has their own definition of what success is when it comes to revenue and income, right? Like there's some people who it could be completely life changing to them to make $10,000 a month. And then there's other people who would cringe at the idea of making $10,000 a month. So it's all about what makes you happy, right? For me, success is being able to have the freedom to do whatever I want as far as if I want to take my kids to the park in the afternoon, I can. I don't have to answer to somebody. I have to answer to myself. If one of my children is sick, I don't have to check in to see if there's space on the calendar for me to take them to a doctor's appointment. If I want to take a vacation, I'm not checking a calendar to see if there's anybody else that's off during those dates. I just happen to know that I created a life where I have freedom, that I can do the things that make me happy and still live an abundant life.
Beautifully said. We're doing it for our children, right? What kind of legacy are you always really consciously modeling for your children through your work?
Showing them that they can do whatever they want to do as long as they believe in themselves, number one, and then number two, again, take massive action to back up those beliefs. So a lot of times, people throw around manifestation. They're like, yo, I'm manifesting this and that. And it's like, okay, you can't manifest your dream life sitting at home watching Netflix on the couch. Now, that's not saying that, you can't have an amazing life and binge watch a series now and then. What I'm saying is if you're not putting in the work every single day and being consistent, consistency is the key, then you are not going to weather the storm of what it takes to be successful.
Yeah. So, what else do you want to say to the moms who feel guilty for wanting more?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so much of this. It's, when we're in our role of motherhood, we're feeling guilty that they're not, we're not working our business. When we're in our business, working our business, we're feeling guilty that we're not spending time with our kids. And really, that kind of never goes away. I mean, we're always going to have that. But what I will say is that, balance as far as what is important to you, right? Like, I don't mind sometimes if my kids come in my office and I'm on a call. Like, it is what it is. This is my life. You might see a toddler running back and forth, and that just is what it is. Whereas some people might draw the line at that and say, no, absolutely not. If I'm on vacation, I have no problem checking in with emails or, clients or anything like that because I've built a life where Monday through Friday, I also can take time off to go do whatever I want to do. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm living just for the weekend or I'm working just for the weekend so that I can live then, or I'm working just for a vacation so that I can live then. No, I live intentionally every single day. And so what I would say is if you're feeling like that you're wanting more, there's nothing wrong with that. It's there, a lot of people think you're being greedy or you should be focused on your family first. My family comes first. God comes first. My family comes second. My business comes third. That's the way I run my life. And there is nothing wrong with wanting more. Everything that you desire, you deserve, and you are capable of.
Yes, so much yes in that. What is building wealth with integrity? And you mentioned faith a lot, and I'm a big believer in that as well. Has there been challenging times before for you to balance that ambition with alignment and faith?
Absolutely. Not all money is good money. I'm going to
Mm,
tell you that right now. There is money out there that is not clean. And when it comes your way, it's very enticing. But really standing again in your power and being able to say no to opportunities that seem financially abundant but will drain the life out of you, that is really where that piece comes in, where you can say, okay, I really felt like I honored my integrity in this moment.
beautifully said. What's a story of one of the biggest transformation you've witnessed with the women you've coached?
So we had a client come to us over the summertime and she was doing about ten to $20,000 a month. And she said, I want to double this. And we said, why? We said, why not 10x it? And so her mind had not been expanded to that ever. And she was just like, a lot of people think that scaling and growth is linear and you're supposed to go up and up and up this way. And it doesn't have to be that way. You can be here and go here. And it's a lot easier to 10x than 2x. And within a few weeks, she had done her first six-figure month.
Mm. So is that a common trait you see in moms who are thriving is really expanding that mindset a way more than you initially expected?
Oh, yeah, 100%. A lot of times, unless you have seen someone else doing it, you don't even know that it exists. So when I first started my journey into entrepreneurship, I just started immersing myself into spaces where women were doing unthinkable things. I'm talking about like $1 million cash days. And it seems almost impossible. But when you see women doing it, and then you start to get to know these women and talk to them and realize that they're just regular women just like you, it starts to seem possible for you too. And then you can start to make a way for it. And then the universe can start to make a way for it for you because now you believe it and you can see it in your head.
Yes. But for women who's thinking, well, because they're starting at a different place than me, I'm starting from zero. So for that person who's just starting, is it still possible for them?
I started from zero. Most people start from zero unless you're, born into wealth and you've been handed, you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Most women are starting from zero. And what I will say is don't count other people's money. Okay. And don't compare your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 12. It's everybody has their own journey and everybody is on a different path. And some people go faster than others. Some people have different circumstances than others. Don't compare yourself to other women. Just take a look at the women that you aspire to be like and say, I can do it too. And I'm going to do it on my timeline.
Mm, yes. But you know what? Doubt shows up for all of us. How do you personally move forward without waiting for certainty?
That never goes away. So doubt
Mm,
will show up at every level of your business, whether you're just starting out or whether you're scaling from 7 to 8 figures. It doesn't go away. And every time you level up, you're going to experience a new level of doubt and this imposter syndrome. And, it's the way to manage it is to understand that you need to re-regulate your nervous system for that level of success. So, doing again that personal development work and really leaning into embodying the next version of yourself is really helpful when it comes to that. And remembering your why. Because a lot of times when we're doubting ourselves, it's because fear is the number one thing that holds us back. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of what other people think about us, what they're going to say about us. We're afraid of succeeding and not being able to hold that success. And so whenever you get that, just ground yourself, take a step back, and remember why you started in the first place. Because if there's no mission behind it, then might as well just go work a job.
oh, yes. Was there a mistake along your journey that taught you something really valuable?
No, there wasn't a mistake. There were multiple mistakes.
Yes.
Endless mistakes. Yes, of course. Yes, there were so many. If I had to pinpoint one, um, I probably couldn't. I mean, mistakes are learning lessons, right? Like they're the opportunity to reflect and say, okay, here's what works, here's what didn't work. And more importantly, moving forward, now I can go into it even clearer and move through it without having to worry about, oh, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? I already know what does and doesn't work. And so now I can move through and try again or try something else and have that clarity and have that experience and not have to worry about it.
Beautifully said. Okay, and if you're listening, you know we all make mistakes and it's okay. Give yourself grace, but learn from it and know that there's a new devil at every level. So we're all in this together, but we are rising together. What last reminder do you want every woman listening to carry after this conversation?
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are correct. Your belief, particularly your belief in yourself, will dictate your destination.
Beautifully said. Great reminder. And if they need a little picker-upper, is there a quote that you go by in life?
Well, that's one of them. There's a lot of them. I just say, that's pretty much it. That's my quote is, if you believe in yourself, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are correct. That's it.
Awesome. Okay, so how can we connect with you?
The best way to connect with me is on Facebook, Anisa Crespo. Shoot me a DM, send me a friend request, and I'd love to connect.
Awesome. And I'll link that in the show notes. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Lucy.